Welcome to the Magnet Pool, where we dive into Miami-Dade County's magnet programs that are innovative and exciting, that truly make Miami-Dade County Public Schools your best choice in education. I'm your host, Dr. Magda Castro Pereira, Administrative Director in the Office of School Choice and Parental Options. And today's episode is going to dive into one of our magnet themes that we truly have an exceptional amount of programs across Miami-Dade County, and that's our International and Advanced Studies magnet theme, which offers unique pathways that allow students to truly become bilingual and bicultural. MDCPS offers Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, French, and German immersion programs beginning in elementary school, and the curricular pathway continues until students graduate from Miami-Dade County Public Schools. And in those graduations, the students do leave Miami-Dade County with well more than just a high school diploma. And we will let our guest educate us in what are those exciting certificates and diplomas that are really internationally known. And that's what's the best thing about these programs for our students. With us today, we have one of the standout schools in the area, International Studies Preparatory Academy, well known as ISPA. And joining us today, we have Principal Dr. Alina Diaz-Blanco, an esteemed leader in Miami-Dade County Public Schools who has dedicated 25 years to education and recently has received France's highest academic honor, the Chevalier de l'Ordre des Palmes Académiques. Also joining us today from ISPA is Montserrat Leto, lead teacher who plays a key role in supporting students through this rigorous and enrichment program, who also has received recently one of the highest esteemed awards from Spain for her service in education. And what better than to get started with the dynamic duo that we have here today. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming and joining us today to really talk about this magnet theme, our international studies and advanced programs. So, Alina, I'm going to start with you, right? ISPA is part of a large district-wide magnet program, right? And we have very few schools that are like this. However, can you give us an overview of your school and how these programs work for our students?
Well, I want to start by thanking you for having us on.
You're welcome.
And giving us the chance to talk about our wonderful school and the International Studies program. So the International Studies program is actually the district's initiative where it provides students with a rigorous global focused education from elementary to high school. The elementary programs are focusing more on introducing the language and the culture. We have schools such as Sunset Elementary, Carver Elementary, Ada Merritt K-8, and Coral Way K-8 that have these programs. In the middle school, it tends to be more interdisciplinary as well as more global awareness, also bringing in the language and culture. We have schools such as Carver Middle School, Ponce Middle School, and again, the K-8 centers. And for the high school, ISPA is where pretty much you have that language and global immersion and that partnership with the education ministries of foreign countries.
That's great and then very, very thorough. But all of the high schools offer elective foreign language programs, right? And part of the graduation requirement is to have 2 consecutive, right? By elective courses in that specific language of selection for the students. So how is our magnet immersion programs in languages different than just being in a traditional setting where you are able to say, I want to take 2 consecutive Spanish classes or 2 consecutive French classes and then meet my graduation requirement?
Well, that's actually a very good question. With our programs, they take 2 classes every year. So in the total, you're looking at 8 classes throughout 4 years in the high school, because not only do we focus on the language, which is what your traditional high schools will do.
Correct.
But there's also the course that deals with history, literature, geography, the culture. That's where that aspect to help in the global world becomes more of a benefit for the students.
Right. So when we talk, that is, I guess, that immersion piece, right? That they receive when they get to their high school, that they actually become bicultural, right? And
Correct.
right, as opposed to, in addition to bilingual, right?
Exactly.
They're really cultivating the culture part of that language as well. Montserrat, talk to us a little about those magnet programs, and how do we support our students through this language immersion? Because I'm sure on top of all of their academics, right, they're taking these rigorous classes to become not only more fluent, but more cultural, immersed in that specific language.
Correct. So as fine, and again, thank you for having
You're
us.
welcome.
It's awesome to
Great to
talk
have you.
about, to me, the best school in Miami-Dade County.
Your best choice.
Yes, exactly. So at ISPA, we have 5 different programs. So 3 are international studies, which means the students have to be proficient in the language when they come to us. And that would be IS, French, Italian, and Spanish. And we also have 2 programs that are called International Education for students that are beginners in the language, but they love our school, they love the culture, and they love to learn a new language and everything that goes with it. So those would be the IE French and the IE Italian. The IE French is actually an initiative from Dr. Alina Diaz-Blanco, which I think contributed a lot to her recognition and award from the French government, because there was an interest in the community for learning French. So we were able to, and with the support from Magnet, to open this fabulous program, which this year is our first graduating class.
Oh, wow.
It piggybacks a little bit off
Correct.
of what you were saying about that traditional foreign language requirement that the
Mhm.
students have. We were finding that students from the middle schools that were taking the foreign language as an elective weren't proficient enough for the international studies program,
Correct.
but wanted to continue and wanted to find that cultural immersion while learning the language simultaneously. And that's where the international education program.
And I think that's where parents get a little confused, that we do have immersive language programs in both international education and international studies.
Correct. And they do have 2 subjects in the language of the program. So they will have their language and literature, and they will have their social studies, or what we call humanities. Obviously, the level of the language, it starts from the beginning, but the objective is that at the end of those 4 years, the students in the IA programs are able to pass the AP Italian and the AP French exams.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, some of our students started, let's say, with the Italian, because that's the graduating class that we can talk about. And they love the language so much that they went ahead and studied in Milan and Rome.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
I think it's, as far as the support, like you were asking, we have the best teachers. Our teachers, I cannot talk enough about how wonderful they are, how supportive, the resources that they get. Our principal, she supplies, they need magazines from France. We get magazines, online programs, everything as far as materials. She supports us with that. And we're very blessed to have all of those and a plethora of things. Our teachers are very knowledgeable. So, for example, we have visiting teachers from Spain as part of our memorandum of understanding. They bring not only a plethora of strategies that are new to maybe our country or our students. They're very interactive. Their energy, it's just, they learn with us and we learn from them so much.
Exactly.
So it's amazing.
That's truly great. So, Alina, I'm going to go back to you,
Mhm.
because one of the biggest advantages, right, from graduating from ISPA, right, is that you don't only get your high school diploma from Miami-Dade County.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit about that, and what do the students leave with?
Yeah, so that's actually very exciting. So the students in the Spanish program, because it varies by program. So the students in the Spanish program at the end of 10th grade and successfully completing the program, they get the ESO diploma. Once they have completed 12th grade, they get the bachiller from Spain, and they will actually receive a diploma about this big signed
Wow.
by the King of Spain.
Wow.
So
How
I
exciting.
want an honorary diploma.
It is.
So hopefully
Well,
the King hears me.
Good.
The students in the French program, once they complete our program and they take the DELF B2, which our students have 100% passing rate in taking, they have direct access to the French and Canadian universities.
Wow.
And then our Italian students who complete the program, take 2 AP classes and pass, take the AP Italian and the National Italian test, direct access to the Italian universities.
That's incredible.
It truly is. It truly is. It brings them the world in Miami.
That is
Absolutely.
truly, truly amazing. And when we talk about that global perspective, right? How better than you're actually learning during your high school years and reaping the benefits, right? And opening those doors for that global perspective, right? When they
Absolutely.
graduate. You want to elaborate, Monserrat, a little bit about that?
I wanted to also talk about our international parent organizations because we
Okay.
have a lot of support from SIPA, which is the Spanish one, FIPA, the French one, and IPA, the Italian one. They bring authors from the countries or from the language of the country. They sponsor activities like Cinemagique. For the French students, we had a virtual visit of the Dali Museum that was sponsored by SIPA. IPA is bringing authors. There's like always constant support, and in addition to enrichment programs to like make this program as complete as possible. We have tutoring for the kids that need some extra support, like for the AP Spanish. So we always try to be there. Again, they're not only bilingual but bicultural, biliterate, because it's not
Exactly.
only a language class. It's so much more than that.
It's so much more. And I have been in your school, and I know because your doors don't open at the normal time of school. They open way before and they stay open way later, right? Because of all of this immersion and cultural perspectives and
Correct.
activities that they're doing continuously, right? And with the support of your administrators and your teachers, right?
Absolutely.
And you actually answered my next question that I was going to give to Alina, was to talk a little bit about those foreign consulates and ministries, right? And that partnership. I don't know if you want to elaborate a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely, because they're such an integral part of this. And I think the other part maybe a lot of our parents don't understand is that Miami-Dade County has memorandums of understanding signed with these foreign governments and their ministries of education.
Right.
So they not only provide the dual diploma options, but our students get to participate in cultural and diplomatic events. Our students are the ones at the consulate when they're having a party, checking the guests in,
Wow.
meeting the guests, talking
Oh,
to the
great.
guests. And we know that we're speaking at the consulate's house. Internship opportunities. Our students get the opportunity to do internships at consulates and getting that diplomatic work experience very early on.
Right. Right.
So that partnership definitely leads for more opportunities for the students.
And I want to tap into that because that's not just at ISPA, that memorandum of understanding with the consulates and those international governments. We have them from elementary and the middle
That is
and the
correct.
high school
Correct.
program.
That is
So
correct.
it's literally every single language program has those partnerships
Correct.
to support the immersion of languages where, whichever one the student, deems that they want to study, but they have those opportunities. And I've been part of some of those activities where it's the cultural day and we see all of those ministries that come to support not only the parents, not only our
Correct.
parents, but the ministries are actually there supporting the school staff and educating and the activity and the students that are coming past them, right?
Correct.
Which is truly amazing. So Monserrat, let me talk to you a little bit about the students when they come to ISPA, right? And this also happens in any grade level, right? The students come in with different ability levels, different proficiency levels. Can you talk to us a little bit about where is that support? How do you actually level the playing field? How do you ensure that these students are progressing in the immersion of their language of choice?
Right. So for example, for the international studies, the students need to be proficient.
Right.
Some of them obviously are more proficient than others
Others.
because we have students that were born in Switzerland, lived in there for like 7 years, but then moved to another country where they didn't have, to another state where they didn't have this opportunity, and then they come back to us. So, but the teachers are, like I said, I think our power force is our teachers, because they are so great at adapting curriculum, at giving them differentiated instruction, project-based learning. They're doing so many different activities with them. Some of them, that focus more on the verbal language, others in the written. So like they're really great at adapting curriculum and bringing different strategies when they see something is not working, maybe like adapting and coming up with a new strategy, or even tutoring, like I said, for certain students that need that extra push. Also, for students that are very proficient, we also offer the possibility of them, not only like students enrolled in the Spanish program, if they're proficient in Italian, we offer the opportunity
to do
to
two
take AP
languages.
Italian, correct? Or if they want to learn Italian, they can get it as an elective. And obviously, our electives for languages are on steroids. So
Literally.
so they are phenomenal. But I do have to say, our teachers are.
And you are on an 8-period day.
Yes.
Right, which affords the students ability to take multiple languages if that's what.
100%. 100%.
And
We've had
encourage it,
students
actually.
in the Spanish program that have taken Italian as an elective and did Italian 1, Italian 2, and did the Italian AP exam.
Wow.
So they end up not only with access to Italian universities as well as a bachiller from Spain. So now they have access to American universities, Spanish universities, and Italian universities.
Wow.
So it offers a lot of opportunity.
That's great. And now that you're talking about, Alina, now that you're talking about these graduates, what type of scholarships, what type of opportunities do they have that they tap in? I know you tapped into it, but when it comes to scholarship opportunities, talk to us a little bit about, what doors are open for your students.
Well, that's actually a great question. And I think because of the rigor of these international programs, the students are high achieving, and they also develop critical thinking, because learning and flourishing in a second language does require critical thinking.
Obviously.
So our students last year, our graduating class, 51% of that graduating class qualified for Florida Bright Futures.
Wow, congratulations.
That is a very big number. You're talking about 51% of our students getting 75% to 100% scholarships to go to school.
That's great.
So that offers them that opportunity. We have also found that being multilingualistic is one of the areas where colleges are looking for now. So we all know that the college perspective has changed a lot. I know the parents are thinking about elementary and middle school and not college, but it has changed.
Yes.
So we as high school administrators have had to change. And one of the things the colleges are looking at is for students that are bilingual or multilingualistic, that have had exposure to more than those 2 years.
2 years
of an elective. So it does open a lot of doors for them, financially and admissions wise.
Exactly. And I have to say that as we do these magnet tours and we talk to parents about magnet programs, more and more are parents coming to these sessions that we offer, asking when they're in middle school about high school. So parents are becoming more educated, which is super important because we are continuously evolving in our landscape, in magnet landscape. But in Miami, we're just so fortunate, right, to be able to have 119 schools and 399 programs. There is a program for every child.
Absolutely.
100%.
But these parents they want to know from elementary school, where am I going to take my child to middle school? And I think that's crucial, because they are going to be able to select those specific courses that they know that they want their child. And when we grew up, at least when I grew up, we knew that we had to be bilingual. We had to learn 2 languages. It was kind of like a forced thing, but it's a huge benefit nowadays, right? Especially with the admission process that you were talking about. And talk to us, Alina, a little bit about your graduates, your alumni, and I know they come back and they thank you every day for pushing us, right, Montserrat, for pushing
Absolutely.
us
It's a special
what you
place.
did every day
Mhm.
at our school. And yes, there was challenges, and I overcame them because of your support.
Mhm.
But talk to us a little bit about those alumni, and do they continue their careers in bilingual or linguistic careers?
So I think that what we have found in our alumni is
Very
that they are
interesting.
worldwide. So I can speak 2018 graduate Eluan, graduated from the French program. He is an entrepreneur with offices in Miami and Dubai. Then I have Adrian, who graduated in 2018, studied engineering, is now at Microsoft. Valentina, who graduated 2019, studied engineering, a woman in engineering, is now working for Procter and Gamble in Cincinnati. What
Good
help
for
if you
them.
notice these are all major corporations? What gave these students the in was the fact that they were multilinguistic,
Linguistic.
because you're talking about multi international companies.
Absolutely.
I have two students, Francisco and Ignacio, 2018 and 2019. Both of them are in the diplomatic political world. So they have done internships in Washington, D.C. So
wow.
it's just interesting, and as a leader, to know that we're going to be in good hands, because that's who our future is. And all these successes, Microsoft, Procter and Gamble, Washington, D.C., it's a lot for a baby school, because we're only 15 years old.
I know, but you're a great baby school. Let me talk to you a little bit about these graduates, right? So you say that they're working now in these major corporations, right? And that brings a lot of like honor, and it's such a gratification to see that all of the effort that was put during their high
Absolutely.
school
Mhm.
years. And let's not
Definitely.
leave behind the elementary and the middle school years, because those are the foundational
Mhm.
years that they acquire these foundational knowledge of that language to be able to go to the high school setting and be able to graduate with these honors, right? But in the 21st century, critical thinking is so important. And I know you tapped into that, but I know that, and I've seen it firsthand in your school, there's so much collaboration amongst all the students, and they're always working in partners and groups. So I don't know if you want to, Montserrat, talk a little bit about that, because it's not just a lecture style in your school.
No,
There's
not at all.
movement, there's languages being spoken all the time. So talk to us a little bit about that student experience.
I think one of the beauties of ISPA is that we're like a little United Nations. I think that gives the student not only that
And the
language
flags in the
immersion-
entrance give you that.
Correct, correct.
So I'm just
So I think that gives them a global perspective that no other place can, because like in, during lunch, you're listening to different languages. In math class, you can maybe like your students, you have the class in English for math, but your students are like talking in different languages. You're getting to befriend people from all these different countries. So that opens and broadens their perspective of the world. And in addition, the language classes and the humanities classes, they enrich. So they're a complement to the social studies classes that they do in English, their core class. And it makes them like more, I would say, cognitive flexibility that allows them to think differently,
Wow.
to see different perspectives, which I think also ties in with problem solving, makes them a great asset, not only studying, but also professionally
And
speaking.
those are the soft skills that they need to be in those major corporations.
100%.
Absolutely.
So that's amazing. So let me ask you the last question. So we always close our segments, right, with one question. What is the magnet pull? What is the magnet pull in your school that you feel draws your students to come to ISPA? And I'll start with you, Alina.
So ISPA is more than an education. I think the best way is ISPA is your passport to your future.
Wow.
I think that is the best way that I can say a lot of words and a lot of wonderful things about the school. But really what we're giving you and what you're getting out of the 4 years at ISPA is a passport to your future to go anywhere in the world. It's thinking outside of Miami and the U.S.
And outside the box.
That's great.
I would
And
say.
you, Montserrat, what do you think
How
is
long
that
is your
magnet
program?
pull?
Because I could be talking about ISPA forever. I think
Go, talk.
I think ISPA is an international family. It's a great hub for students that find a home there at ISPA, because we're not only about rigor and education, which we are. Our students also get AP Capstone diplomas, the ones that enroll in the AP Capstone, in addition to those diplomas and recognitions from different countries. They get to take as many as APs as fit in their schedule. And we also have dual enrollment pathways that with a certain number of APs and dual enrollment courses, they can graduate with up to 60 credits, which is like their associate's degree already, which is so I think you can go to infinity and beyond. You can make your schedule as rigorous, starting from rigor, as you want it to be. The world is in your hands. The students feel very safe, very comfortable. They even tell us the school is so clean. We love how clean and organized everything is. I mean, those are the little things, but I think the fact that they have a voice, they're not just a number, that we get to know them, that they get to, we see them blossom, because we see them, most of them in 9th grade, and how being a small school allows them to have a voice because they participate in so many activities. We see their growth, and to me, that is fantastic. And I think there's no better place.
And Alina, your principal, is sitting here smiling, but it is because as a former principal, I can tell you it's such a great feeling, right? To see how students come into you in 9th grade and they blossom, right? They blossom to these beautiful butterflies that then venture out, right, to this global world. And really, and you're cultivating in your school where it's a small school, right? It's a small district-wide school where everybody knows everybody, and everybody participates in everything. And I think that's what really sets your school apart, on top of all of the language immersions and everything. But it is a personalized experience that they might not get in a traditional setting.
Correct.
From CAP advising
from CAP advising. That's probably one of the keys is scheduling. The CAP advising, scheduling.
Everything is very one-on-one, very personalized. I would describe it like a private school with a zero tuition. It's what I would tell you.
That's absolutely great. That's true. And for parents, that is great news, right?
Definitely.
Private school setting and a wonderful global education, right? That prepares them, right? And opens the doors for their future and also gives them, right, free tuition.
Absolutely.
Which is amazing.
Amazing.
Well, thank you both for joining us today. And a big thank you to all of our viewers and our listeners, and as well to Miami Community News for providing us this platform to bring our magnet stories to our listeners. As a reminder, ISPA is a magnet school and requires an application to enter into the random lottery. Please be advised that our magnet application opens up October 1st. And closes on January 15th. Hey, parents, we're getting close. Results will go out on March 15th. But if you missed our first window, do not worry. We are opening up a second opportunity for our parents to apply for magnet programs. It's going to be the open seat magnet application, and any program that has available seating will be on this application, and that opens up on April 15th. I encourage you to visit our miamimagnets.org website to learn more and explore more about all of our magnet programs. And that is it for today. Stay drawn to what inspires you, and we'll see you next time.